Good morning, Prasanna.
Hello. Hello.
Prasanna Khapekar?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please speak some loudly because your voice is very low.
Uh, Hello. Is this audible?
Yes, yes, it is audible.
Okay.
We will start within 5 minutes.
Okay, sir. Just notify me if everyone comes.
Yes, yes. I have given you the presenter ID also.
Okay.
तीनच लिहा सकते तीनच लिहा तीन ते आणि नेट आणि इंटरनॅशनल लेवलला नाही इंटरनॅशनल
Good morning, all participants. Good morning, Prasanna. So,
Good morning,
Prasanna,
sir.
can
and
we
all-
start the session?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, all participants, kindly pay the attention. Today, we are having a very good speaker, that is Mr. Prasanna Khapekar. He is an RSCA certified Linux and AWS trainer and currently working at Unisoft Technology Nagpur. In today's session, today we are at day 2, and in today's session, first up, he is going to introduce the introduction to Amazon Web Services, then infrastructure related to the AWS. Then we are going to see the simple storage solution and creating the operations on that particular AWS. So these are the topics which have to be explained by Prasanna Kapekar. During the session, if anyone is having any queries or other type of difficulties, then he or she can raise the hands, and then we are going to unmute them over there. So I think we can start. Prasanna, I have made you the presenter. Please check
Yes, sir.
that you can share or not.
Okay, sir. Hello.
Yes.
First of all, good morning to all of you, all the dignitaries presented over there, and all the participants which are present for the cloud computing session for today, sponsored by IEEE Bombay section and organized committee of AI department of GS Raisoni College, Engineering and Technology. Today, we'll be looking at introduction to Amazon Web Service, first of all. But before that, we will look what is cloud computing. Okay. Okay. Nowadays, there are many small IT companies which are available in the market, and they are going to start their businesses and all the servers they want to represent over the internet. Okay. So first of all, cloud computing is a virtualization based technology that allows you to create, configure, customize application via internet connections. The cloud technology includes a development platform, hard disks, software, application, and databases. Then what is cloud computing? Actually, the term clouds refer to the network or the internet. It is a technology that uses remote servers on the internet to store, manage, and access the data online rather than local drives. The data can be anything such as files, images, documents, audio, video, and more. There are some of the operations we can perform on cloud computing: developing a new application and services, storage backup and recovery of data, hosting blogs and websites, delivery of software on demand, analysis of data, streaming videos and audio. Here, there are some of the content we are going to represent today. There are introduction to cloud computing, as I am telling, on-premises versus cloud computing differentiation, introduction to AWS and AWS services. As I said, what is cloud computing? It's on-demand availability of computer resources, especially data, storage, and computing power without direct active management by the users. Here, the user can operate it remotely. Large crowds often have function distributed over multiple locations, each location being a data center. Rather than managing files on local storage device, cloud computing makes it easy possible to save them over the internet. It means you don't have to keep your hard storage device. There are some versions, or say some flavors of cloud computing we are having in our market. First of all, the AWS, which we are studying. Second is Microsoft Azure, and the third one is Google Cloud Platform. The basic difference between the on-premises and cloud computing are, here are some of the points which I am showing on the screen. The on-premises have the higher pay and less scalability. Whether cloud computing, you have to pay that much only whatever you use. If you use high, then you have to pay more. On-premises need a lot huge space, and the servers don't require any kind of space physically. On-premises have the hardware and software maintenance team, poor data security, less chains of data recovery, lack of flexibility, no automatic updates, and less collaboration. Data cannot be accessed remotely and takes longer time to implementation. As why longer time? Because every company or organization need time to get established. On the other hand, cloud computing made you easy with no server space required, no expert required to hardware and software maintenance. No better, it has a better data security. Disaster recovery. Disaster recovery means you have a lot of ability to get over the data which got lost. High flexibility, automatic software updates. Team can collaborate from widespread location. You don't have to sit on one place and collaborate. You can operate over your data and your services remotely. Data can be accessed and shared anywhere over internet, and the rapid implementation. There are two types of cloud computing. First one is deployment model, and another one is general model. The deployment model has public, private, and hybrid clouds. Public cloud means anyone can access the services over the internet. Private cloud, these are kind of environmental, in organizational work where only the authoritative persons can access. And in hybrid, it's like anyone from the in premises and outer public can access the deployment model. In general model, we have three stages. First one is IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. Second one is PaaS, that is platform as a service. And third one is SaaS, that is software as a service. As we are end users, we use always SaaS, that is any kind of service we are using are SaaS service, that is software as a service, like Zomato, Swiggy. These are the services on the internet which we are using for this end user, like as end user. And at the time of teaching, we teaches all over the students and all that is infrastructure as a service. That means you have to create your own services from the scratch over the AWS console. Moving ahead. Now, what is Amazon Web Services? Does anyone have idea about it? Hello? 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 Hello, am I audible? Hello? Moving ahead, AWS is a global cloud platform used by around 80% of Fortune companies or 500 companies. Infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service are the service provided by AWS and a cloud storage platform where we can access the services. The benefit of using AWS or any cloud computing is per hour billing. It means you only have to pay that much amount with till the time you are using your services on the server. It has an easy sign up process, simple billing, stability, and trusted vendors. There are some of the basic services we are having on the AWS, that is EC2, Elastic Cloud Computing, VPC, Virtual Private Cloud, S3, Simple Storage Service, RDS, that is Relational Database Service, Route 53, that is kind of DNS service, ELB, Elastic Load Balancer, and Autoscale. As per the content, if we are looking for the AWS global infrastructure, global network of AWS region is cloud spans 99 availability zone within 31 geographic regions around the world, with announced plans for 15 more availability zones and 5 more AWS regions in Canada, Israel, Malaysia, New Zealand, and Thailand. As you can see here, there are some blue dots which are the regions represent all over the globe, and the red ones are the upcoming availability zones and the regions in the globe for AWS regions. Each region is having multiple number of availability zone that can be said as data centers. Okay, now moving ahead to the topic, that is simple storage services. S3 is the first service that has been produced by AWS and which is stand for simple storage service. It provides the developers and IT teams to secure, durable, and highly scalable object storage. It is easy to use with a simple web service interface to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere on the web. It is object-based storage that you can store the images, Word files, PDF files, etc. The files which are stored in S3 can be from 0 bytes to 5 TB. S3 is a universal namespace, that is, the name must be unique globally. Bucket contains that as a DNS address. Therefore, the bucket must contain a unique name to generate a unique DNS address. If you create a bucket, your URL of bucket will be look like this, as it is showing in the bottom of the screen, that is https s3-eu west 1. This is the region name, and Amazon AWS.com/cloud guru is a bucket name. Heading towards the console, before that I want to show you some of the data regarding the AWS storage classes that S3 storage class can use to sustain the concurrent loss of data in one or two facilities. S3 storage class maintain the integrity of data using checksums. S3 provides lifecycle management for the automatic migration of objects for the cost savings. S3 contains 4 types of storage classes that are standard IA, one zone infrequent access, and glacier. These are the storage classes we have in our S3. At the time of making a bucket or S3 storage, the data is stored in standard class. If you want to change that standard class and want to store the data in different class, you can choose by your own. But if you want to switch data from one standard class to another, then you have to wait for the period of 30 days minimum. After that, switching to another one, then you have to wait for 30 plus 30, that is near about 60 days. Every time if you are retrieving data from the storage classes, there must be charges applied on that data, and the latency of the data recovering is low. There are the advantages of Amazon S3 that you can create buckets, storage data in buckets, download data, permissions, standard interface, and security. These are the some points between the elaborating those points. In create buckets, firstly we create a bucket and provide name the bucket. The bucket name must be unique all over the globe as it contains the DNS addresses. Storing data in bucket, you can be used to store it infinite amount of data. You can upload the files as much you want to into an Amazon S3 bucket. That is, there is no maximum limit to store the files. Each object can contain up to 5 TB of data. Each object can be stored in retrieve using unique developer assign key. There is an assign key when you want to retrieve the data. Download the data. You can also download your data from the bucket and can also give permission to others to download the same data. You can download the data at any time whenever you want. Permissions, you can also grant and deny access. It's like using an IAM service or giving someone a authority to access the data whenever you want. An authentication mechanism keeps the data secure from unauthorized access. Standard interfaces, S3 is used with the standard interface, that is REST and SOAP interface, which are designed in such a way that they can work with the development toolkit. Security, Amazon S3 offers security features by so these are the points I am sharing right now. As you are on the another slide, sorry for that. So this is a simple storage service S3, which I have told before some time. And these are the advantages of Amazon S3, which I was sharing right now. Okay. The S3 object-based object consists of the following things. These are key, value, version ID, metadata, sub-resources, and access control information. Okay. Key. It is a simply name of an object. For example, hello.txt special XLSS. You have the key to retrieve the object. When you upload the data in bucket, it generates a key of that object. The key is nothing but the name of that same data. Okay. The value, it is simply the data which is made up of a sequences of bytes. It is nothing but the size of a data. Version ID, if you are uploading the same data again and again by versioning them, then it generate an version ID, which is helpful to retrieve and work on the data. Metadata, it is about the data that you are storing, a set of name of value pair with which you can store the information regarding the object. Metadata can be assigned to the object in Amazon S3 bucket. Sub-resources is the mechanism to use to store object in specific information. And access control is you can put the permission individually on your files that who can access it or not. The basic concepts are buckets, objects, keys, and region and data consistency models. Telling about the bucket, it's a bucket. Bucket is a container used to storing the object. Every object is incorporated in bucket. For example, if the bucket object name photos tree.jpg is stored in a tree image, the extension of that file or the DNS name will be like this, that is http tree image s3 amazon aws.com photos tree.jpg. A bucket has a no limit amount which can store in it can store. No bucket can exist inside the other bucket. Means you cannot create a bucket inside a bucket like a folder. You create. S3 performance remains the same regardless of how many buckets have been created. The AWS user that creates a bucket owns it, and no other user other user cannot own it because it is already owned by someone. Therefore, we can say that ownership of a bucket is not transferable. The objects in the objects are nothing but the entries which are stored in S3 bucket. The data which you will be storing in S3 bucket. An object consists of a object data, that metadata, where metadata is a set of name value pair that describes the data. An object consists of some default metadata such as date, last modified, and standard HTTP metadata such as content type. Custom metadata can also be specified at the time of storing the object. It is uniquely defined within the bucket by key and version IDs. Now, the key, as I said, key is nothing but the name of a file which will be required while storing. A key is a unique identification of the object. For an object, every object in a bucket is associated with one key. An object can be uniquely identified by using a combination of bucket name, key, and optionally version IDs. For example, in URL, as the DNS is defined, the JTP is the bucket name and the key is the last name Amazon S3.wsdl. Now, the last but the most IMP thing is regions. You can choose a geographical region in which you want to store the bucket that you have created. A region is chosen in such a way that optimize the latency, minimize cost, and addresses the regularity requirements. Objects will not have the region unless you explicitly transfer the object to another region. There are two types of data consistency model in S3 bucket. Amazon S3 replicates the data multiple service and achieve high availability. There are two types of models which are read after write consistency to put of the new object and eventual consistency for overwrite puts and deletes. The read after write consistency for puts of new object. For put request, has to store the data in across multiple servers to achieve maximum availability, to achieve high availability. A process stores an object to S3 and will be immediately available to read the objects. A process stores a new object in S3, it will immediately list the keys within the bucket. If it does not take a time for propagate the changes as reflected immediately. The second one, eventual consistency for override puts and deletes. For puts and deletes to objects, the changes are reflected eventually and they are not available immediately. If the process replaces an existing object with the new object, you try to read it immediately until the change is fully propagated. The S3 might return prior data. If the process deletes an existing object, immediately try to read it until the change is fully propagated. The S3 might return the deleted data. If the process deletes an existing object, immediately list the keys within the bucket until the change is fully propagated. The S3 might return the last of the list. The S3 might return the list of the deleted keys. Whenever you delete the object from S3, it will not get fully deleted. It just create a marker before deleting it. So it's kind of a temporary deletion. The important points to remember are buckets are universal namespace, that is bucket namespace must be unique. If uploading an object S3 bucket is successful, we receive HTTP 200 code. S3, S3IA, S3 reduced redundancy storage are the storage classes. Encryption is of two types, that is client side and server sides. Access the bucket can control by using either ACL or bucket policies. By default, buckets are provided all the objects stored in the bucket also private. I just told you about the storage classes, that is standard IA, S3 one zone infrequent access, and S3 glacier, where you can store your data at the time of putting into the bucket by selecting the custom storage location or by default in a standard class. Every class has their different availability and data. The performance across the storage classes are like this. The S3 standard IA, S3 one zone IA, and S3 glacier has the design and durability of near about approx 99.99, that is near about 100%. The design availability are like this 99.99, 99.995, and S3 is NA. If you are storing a data in glacier, then you have to wait for minimum duration 90 days. The data retrieval fee are depend upon the size of a data you are retrieving per GB. First byte latency are in milliseconds, and in the glacier you will might taking the minutes or hours. The storage type was all of the classes are object, and life cycle transition are acceptable in all of the classes. Okay. These are the global regions of AWS network, AWS infrastructure. This blue dot shows you the global regions, and the red ones are the upcoming global regions. Each global region have multiple number of availability zones. They are like this. As you can see on the screen, the AWS region of different region have n number of availability zones. Every region is has near about 3 4, some of having 4 6, and every country the edge locations are provided, where edge locations means where you can access your data in frequent manner with the high frequency. The upcoming data is from Israel, Malaysia, Thailand. Now we will see how we create bucket in AWS console. Till now we have seen the introduction to Amazon Web Services, AWS Global Infrastructure, introduction to simple storage service. Just get signed into console. As you can see on the screen, first of all, we're looking for the service that is S3. From here, you can search for the S3 services. Here you can see the data about S3 services, its benefit and feature. We'll be looking into the video that how the S3 works. Okay. Now heading towards, this is the video for information on AWS site. If you are visiting it the first time or on regular times, if there is no bucket, then you can visit this video, which will tell you about the more information for the buckets and their use. Okay. Now we'll start by creating a bucket from the console. That is, we will be heading to first create bucket. At the time of bucket creation, we'll see that when we log in, we are in a region. It was showing that's Mumbai region, as you can see on the right upper corner. That is, it's my login name and it's the region where I logged in. But while creating a bucket, the reason is not showing properly as it is showing global. This is because as per the data we are having for AWS, that the bucket name is must have to be globally unique. If I put my bucket name as bucket for a seminar, it will check the name all over the globe in all over the regions available in AWS, and then if it is unique, it will create a bucket. Below the bucket name, there is AWS region, where you can select the region where you want to create that bucket. As we are on a free tier, we will be creating bucket in AP South 1, Asia Pacific. Now, the object ownership. If you want to share the data of a bucket with another bucket owner, then you can enable or disable the object ownership. If you want to enable, then I can enable it as ACL enabled, as we will need it further. Block the public access using for this bucket. If I am going to block this access, then no one can access the data inside my bucket. But if I want to share the data inside my bucket then I will uncheck this and accept the acknowledgement that at the current settings might be result in the bucket and the object will be becoming public. Okay. Bucket versioning is the second part. We'll be looking in another session. Here now we are only looking for creation of a bucket and putting a data inside the bucket. There's a default encryption and the bucket key, which is needed for creation of a bucket. Now create a bucket. As our name was unique, it get accepted by the S3 in global platform that their name not existed over before. Okay. From here, you can see the properties of the bucket, where you has creation date, time, its ARN, and the AWS region where it is made. These are the options which will be shown in the bucket. Now objects. If you want to upload an object inside the bucket, you can choose it from here, upload, add files. As I am having some of the object that as the logo, exam guide. These are the two objects. If I am uploading it, then I will open this from here. As you can see, the list of the object is showing me below this. The size of the object. Destination is bucket for seminar, as we have created before. Okay. And upload the object. It will take a time for uploading as per the size it's having. We'll close it. Okay. This is bucket for seminar. We can see the data inside the object, inside that bucket. You can select the object and see all the properties of that object containing the owner name, its S3 URL, the reason of the object stored in bucket, Amazon resource name, notification date, entity tag, size, the type of file which has been uploaded, object URL, and the key of the object. Key is nothing but the name of the object we have uploaded. As you can see, the storage class. As I said, the default storage class for the bucket where we upload the data is standard. Here we can see the storage class is standard. You can download the data from here, from the download out action. As you can download it easily. And if you want to open it, you can open it from also from here. As it is the object name is AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Exam Guide. Okay. We have seen how to upload it, how to download it. But what if I want to see this data or another data of the bucket on the internet? So I'll need the object URL. I'll copy that URL and paste it in a new tab. Here we can see this is the XML file does not appear to have any style information. The tree document is showing below. So if you want to see the object, you have to make it public. You just have to go into the object actions and select the option make public using ACL, that is access control list. Make public. So the object we are looking, searching on internet by using their URL is now public, and if we reload the link, we can see the data. As we have applied it on only one object, the another object will not get easily look onto the server. So we will also have to make it public to look it on the internet. Just you have to select the data, actions, and make public using ACL. Make public. And then you just have to copy the URL of their data. Check URL, copy, and paste it on the browser. Here you can see the object uploaded in your bucket can be visible on your internet by making it public using ACL. I just want to know, is there anyone doing the doing this process of making bucket and all? Just send a message into chat. Okay, there is no one doing anything. Okay, no problem. I hope you are understanding the concept of bucket creation and uploading the data and how you can host it on internet. Okay. Now, if you want to add more data, you'll just have to upload, choose the upload data and add files. Okay. And if you want to add a folder containing a data, then you can add a folder. Just select the add files and keep the more data on site. That these are the some logos and data over the internet, as we are having Route 53, ELB. These are some of the PNG images of AWS services. I'm going to upload, open, and upload. The destination details, where we can see the bucket versioning, encryption type, and object. We will not disturb these settings. The properties, here we can see in properties, permission and properties. In access control list, here you can choose the specify individual ACL permissions to the objects and buckets, and predefined ACL we can use the private and grand public read access. While loading the data, anyone in the world will be able to access the specific object. The object owner will have to read and write access. Okay. If I grant public this read access, and I understand there is granting public access specified objects, after that, the properties, as I said, the default storage is of a bucket stored in standard class, okay, which is frequently accessed data more than once a month with millisecond access. Okay. The another part is the intelligent tiering, data with changing or unknown access patterns. Standard IA, infrequent access data once a month with millisecond access. One zone. Okay, as per request, I will in five after this topic, I will show you how to create a bucket again. After the topic, okay. So these are the storage classes. These are the storage classes we are using at the time of uploading a data. There are some classes which are showing that they can be minimum storage. They have the minimum storage duration of 30 days, 30 days, 90 and 180. Okay. These are the classes where the applicable rates are given when you retrieve the data. Okay. As per the object, the fees are applied. Objects over 128 KB and monitoring FVs. Minimum billable objects are near about 128 KB. Below that, you are not you do not get any kind of charges for billing. Okay. As I'm uploading the three datas with ACL, different ACL public access read access, it means the public having the already read access, and in standard class, as I am keeping it default, I'm uploading the data. Okay. When we check our bucket, there are some more data other than the previous ones. It will show the time of data uploading and the date also. Here the first, fourth and fifth, the recently uploaded data. This first one we didn't have make use. We didn't make it you ACL public. We'll just copy paste and see. We can see the object without making it public as we have done previously, because at the time of uploading the object, we have already given the permission to publics that it can read the files. If you are not giving the public permission, then you have to make it public from inside the bucket by selecting the objects and going into the action and making it public at the bottom. Okay. Now, if you don't want your bucket to be activated or you want to delete your bucket, you just select the bucket and make the option and select the option delete. But at the time of deletion, it will say that the bucket is not empty and it cannot be get deleted. So whenever you are going to delete the bucket, you just have to empty the bucket first. So we are having the option over here, direct empty the bucket, or we can empty the bucket for by selecting all the objects and delete it. Yes, we can apply permission to entire bucket, but we have to give the permission to files only first, because we cannot apply on every user who can access. Instead of selecting any object, we can select all the object at the time of uploading time and we can give the permission. Here, like as a capture, while deleting, they are given something data that is permanently deleted. Put into the box and delete the object. So network issues. Now deleting the bucket. See, as we have deleted all the data inside the bucket of a bucket. Now we can delete the bucket by keeping by pasting the name of a bucket into the given box as it was highlighting the name and delete the bucket. Now back to the, as we have deleted all the buckets from inside our AWS console, we have again on the same home page of the bucket. Now no, you can delete no. Only user have the access of using the bucket. If someone has the permission of using that bucket access, then only the data, as we see in our second session, the bucket versioning or bucket cross replications, the data whatever we upload in our bucket will be shown into the another reason bucket. So you don't have to worry about that your bucket is getting deleted and someone is showing getting to know that data is present or not, because data will be replicated to the another bucket of that user. As if you are using the bucket to access the data, as you have access some of the objects in the bucket and using on internet and all. Yes, data will be replication will be there. If you are using watching in data on internet from the bucket and you suddenly delete the bucket, the data will not appear. It will show an error while looking into it. So in runtime, you can delete the bucket. But if the data is present, then bucket will show the error info warning that the data is bucket is not in. So first you have to delete the data, then you can delete the bucket. In 5 minutes, I will be showing again how to create a bucket and upload objects. And whoever want to create the buckets, just log into the console of AWS. At 12:15, I will start to create a bucket again. If anyone missed that thing, please log in. Hello. 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 I am starting to create bucket again and upload the data inside the bucket. Okay. So whoever has not seen that process can attend now. Okay. First of all, as after logging into the console, we are on S3 service page, and here we can see the how it works video. Okay. As we have seen it previously, we will be going towards directly on create bucket. Create bucket. Here, here after logging, the reason you are logged in was not able to see by you, as it will show you the global reason. As it will show you the global reason. So at the time of create bucket, you have to put the bucket name as it must have to be globally unique, which not contain the spaces as and uppercase letters. So I am putting the name that AI department, or you can keep the name as you whatever you want. That is study bucket. I'm selecting the region. Before this, I have selected Mumbai region. Now, if I want to select the Singapore region, I can select it. The object ownership I can change, that the control ownership of object written into the bucket and other AWS accounts used to control access. Yes. Object ownership determines who can specify the object events. Okay, so I am enabling the ACL. I am unblocking the public access and giving access to all the publics. And creating bucket. As you can see, it's showing an error that the bucket name is already exist. It means all over the globe and also in the region where you are creating a bucket, the object name is available. Bucket name is available. So I will be using some of the numbers to make it unique. Like I am putting today's date, that is the 2305. Okay. And now selecting creating a bucket. Okay. After some of unique numbers, bucket has been created. Now you can see the details from here, view details. Okay. Now you are inside the bucket where you want to upload the data. So you can select upload, add files. The things you want to upload, as I am selecting this so much things. Open it. You can see the sizes of things, size of the objects are different, and you can upload it at a time as much you want. Okay. Here are the destination details and some of the basic default entries we are having. After that, the permissions, control access list, and predefined ACLs. Predefined ACL will allow you to see the objects by using their object URLs, pasting on the internet, and the properties where you can see the storage classes. Right now, I am keeping the things as it is, as default, and upload it. If I want to see the data on internet, then I have to copy the object URL and paste it on the browser. Here we can see it is access denied. Why? Because the object is not public using ACL. If I make it public using ACL and reload the object URL, I can see the object. All the objects we have uploaded right now are not able to see on internet by using object URL because they are not public. If we upload data, we upload some data, we upload some more data, add files, like this. Okay. By giving the permission at the time of uploading, that is predefined ACLs, grant public read access. And I understand the this and granting acknowledgement and upload it. We can select the data and make it search by using its object URL without making it externally giving the ACL permissions like this. Now we can see data without giving ACL permission externally as we have given it at the time of uploading. Like this, we can upload the data, make it using public, using ACL. Okay. If you want to delete it, delete the object one by one, you can delete it. Or you can directly delete the bucket containing the object from the outside. Just select the delete, bucket is not empty bucket, by just putting the permanently delete option. And after that exit, just select the bucket and delete it by putting the technique. Okay. So now topic for this session is completed. Topic for this session is completed. Yes, in another session, we will look into, we will try to create by using commands. No, we can use our normal CMD. Okay, if we are having time, so we will look into it for creating the buckets by using CLI commands. In 5 minutes, we will look into it. And after that, we'll close the session for the morning time. For Windows setup, we have to download the Amazon CLI 64-bit. Install install the AWS command line interface. Ma'am, download Amazon CLI for creating bug applications. If you're done, then just wait for a moment. It's installing. Setup is getting installed. Sometime. Pushing it. Now, now, open your CMD. Is CMD screen visible? Here we will run command AWS configure. It will ask for the AWS access key ID. Okay. The console. Okay. First, we have to create the AWS access key ID. Okay. So we have to go to my security credentials, where we have to create a secret access key, and with the password. To achieve this, we first need to create an IAM group. Okay. So first, go to security credentials, the login screen. Here you can see the access key option. You have to create an access key. Continue to create an access key. Access key. Okay. Create access key. Okay. Okay. Here you must download the cs.csv file, where there are the credentials of your access key and the passwords. Now copy the access key and paste it into your CMD, where it is asking for the AWS access key ID. And enter. Is asking for the secret key. Then there is a secret key beside the access key. Just copy it and paste into the AWS secret access key and enter. It will ask you for the default region name. You just put US East 1, or on the global, you can search for the US East 1 or Asia Pacific Mumbai AP South 1. According to your requirement, you can choose the region where you want to create a bucket. So like I am creating AP South 1 Mumbai. So I will put AP hyphen South hyphen 1. Okay. Enter. It will ask for the default output format. Just keep enter. It will put you into the user admin and ls. So we have to create it again. JSON. AWS S3 LS. As there is no output because there is no bucket present over there. So first, I think first we will create the bucket inside that region, so we can get the confirmation that we are doing a proper step. Just creating a bucket normal. In Mumbai region. The bucket is created. Now in CMD, we will check whether it is showing or not. Okay, here we can see it is showing that in our AP South 1, AP South 1 Mumbai region, there is a one bucket is present, one bucket is present. It means we are going on the correct path. Okay. Now, if you want to make a bucket in S3, then we have to put a command AWS space S3 space MB for make a bucket. For make a bucket, I hope everyone is getting my points. This wave, if it is understandable. Okay, heading towards. When we are creating bucket using CLI, we will put the command AWS S3 MB for make bucket, then S3 colon // bucket name. The bucket name must be unique. So as we have created the bucket, we have created bucket graphically by putting their name unique. If I'm here, I'm creating a bucket name management, but it must have to be unique. We can easily think that the name must be taken previously. So I am adding some more points. That is today's date 2305. Okay. And putting enter. Okay. So if you check the command AWS S3 LS, so there are two buckets, and if we cross check it on our S3 management console and refresh it, the another bucket which we have made by using CLI command is present over there. If you want to put the data inside the bucket, then you have to select the path of data which is present on your system, which you want to upload on that bucket. So you just have to put the complete path of that data. Okay. And if you want to remove the bucket, then you will just put, if you want the remove another bucket which you have created graphically, that was a bucket 230523. You just have to keep RB, that is remove bucket, in place of MB. Okay, the bucket is removed, and if you check it, cross check it on your graphical, there is only one bucket present which you have made using CLI. Everyone understood this thing? It is not defined when to use CLI mode, as when you are using graphically, it will be more easier than using CLI. But in case of necessity, you then only you can use CLI. Otherwise, you can go for graphical mode. Yes, yes, sure. Okay, I will just tell you how to create. How to create. Okay. You can create the secret access key by going to, see, under the name username, there is security credentials. Okay. In that security credentials, we will see the access key option. In that access key, you just have to create the access key. Just click the checkbox and create access key. It will show you your access ID and secret access key. You can download it from the option download.csv file. By downloading, you can check your access key whenever you want. Okay. Now I am deleting this bucket graphically as I have created it by CLM mode. In the next session, we will create it again by using CLM mode for more understanding and put the data by using CLM mode.
Prasna sir, is the session
Yes,
over?
ma'am. Yes, yes. The first session is over. We will continue the
Okay,
session
okay.
at 2.
So participants, we will meet at 2 after lunch. From 1 to 2, there will be lunch. Again, join at 2. And feedback link has been sent in the WhatsApp group. Kindly fill it for the attendance for this session also. I'm ending the meeting right now. You can join again. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you
Prasna.
all the
Thank you
participants
all.
for the first session.
Thank you all. See you at 2 p.m.
Yes.